Hello everybody and welcome. I'm in the process of trying to get these jugs and other pots you see here in front of me ready to put into the kiln, which you can see down there. These particular pots that I'm now working on are biscuit fired, and they've been covered in a celadon glaze, which is a green glaze for stoneware in reduction. And as you can see, I've got some GP bowls. Haha, always got some GP bowls up my sleeve. Anyway, I really don't know how this clay, how it's going to come out in the kiln. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to spray wood ash over the outside of the pots, over the outside unglazed, under this unglazed area here. So I've got some wood ash which I've managed to get out of the grate upstairs of the fireplace, and I sieved it through a 100 mesh sieve, and I've got it in this little container here. And I've got one of these. Well, actually the container itself is one that you can blow through here, and it sprays or atomizes the wood ash, which is incidentally unwashed and then sieved through, in this case, an 80 mesh sieve. And I've just got this concoction in here now with water, and I'm going to spray it on. So why don't you join me? You can see me get completely out of breath. So I'm just going to set up the camera here, and let's go. So I actually used to do this when I used to work for my dad, David Leach, that was, at the Lower Down Pottery in Devon, England. If you've got a clay body that in reduction is rather bland or comes out rather grey looking in reduction, if you spray wood ash over the outside of it, you can get quite a nice toasty look to it. So one does get a bit out of breath, that's the problem. So I work down the board doing this face of these jugs, and then I turn the board around and do the other side. Incidentally, you do have to keep this wood ash in this container a little bit on the move, because it tends to sediment out, you know. And sometimes it gets clogged. Now the GP bowls I've got over here, that I showed you earlier on, are going to be done in exactly the same way, just as they are, face to face, and then I spray over the faces. I take a bit of care though that I don't spray just where they're sitting face to face, because I don't want them to stick together. It's good for your lungs, this. This is how to get a sort of cheat effect, wood effect look, as it were, to your pots. This of course only is really for reduction firing. So now what I have to do is work down work down the other side. I've got a little casserole dish here also to do. So while you're here with me, why don't I just give this little casserole a little dusting of wood ash. I think it's getting near the bottom of my container there. You do have to be a bit careful once you've sprayed it though, that you don't handle it where the wood ash is, because it leaves a horrible smudge. Isn't it great that we can just go to our fireplace hearth and just take wood ash, such a wonderful raw material, and apply it in this way? Yeah, it's looking like I'm going to have to refill that now. Let me just show you. I don't know if it'll come out on the film or not. You kind of spray on these blushes of wood ash, and I don't know. It may not. It may be that the clay body comes out a very nice colour on its own anyway. But as I don't know, I'm going to not take any chances. I'm just going to give it a smattering of this wood ash. Anyway, there we are, folks. Just to fill you in a little bit on what I'm doing here, I've got to load that kiln down there, and I've got to fire the thing. I've never fired it in my life, so that should be fun and game, shouldn't it? Hey, Simon Leach saying, keep practicing. See ya.